Ad copy is literally your first impression to potential customers, so it's imperative to put your best foot forward with searchers, but also in a technical sense and how search engines read them. On average, you have less than 3 seconds to capture a user's attention with your ad and get them to consider clicking on it. To avoid unnecessary clicks and costs, you'll also want to make sure that your ads are not only worded correctly for humans, but also for the search engines. The search engines use the text that ad copy provides to help them determine a few things around relevancy and keyword usage. And an ad that is clearly relative to the keyword list comes across in a click-through rate, and that metric is used to help determine quality score, as well as what your cost per click relative to your other competitors in that same option might be. As we go through this tutorial, you'll really start to see how very important good ad copy is, and how you need to make sure to set aside some time to do it right. First, let's break down the components of an ad. Both Google and Bing utilize the same character limits and a lot of the same guidelines about what you can and cannot do in an ad copy, and what you can advertise for. Ads are composed of a headline, 25 characters or less, body copy, 70 characters or less, or 35 per line, and display URL, which is 35 characters or less, and last but not least, the destination URL, which is 1024 characters or less and is not viewable by searchers. Each engine has editorial guidelines that are fairly similar but not identical, so when in doubt, you'll need to check their help centers for specific instances you're not sure of. For example, on AdWords, you cannot use an exclamation point in your headline, but on Bing Ads, you can. More and more of the search engines are rolling out different types of ads that go far beyond the simple text ad that we have here. Here's something you might see often. On AdWords, if you use punctuation, like a period, exclamation, anything at the end of the first line of body copy, and your ad appears in the first or second position, AdWords might pull up the first line of text to display next to the headline. If you don't use punctuation, there is no chance of this happening at all, and they may instead pull your display URL. There is unfortunately no way to control which version happens and when, nor can you see metrics that indicate whether or not this is successful for you. Logically speaking, a larger ad in the first 2 or 3 positions on the search engine results page will be more attractive to a searcher, so it is in your best interest to add proper punctuation whenever necessary. Additionally, Google may move your display URL up next to the headline. Again, there is no way to really control this, but if your ads appear in the first 3 text ad positions, the likelihood is higher. So, what should you aim for in order to declare a good ad? High is relative to the industry you're in, but on average, an ad with less than a 1% CTR needs to go. You want to aim for 2% or higher whenever possible. Here's an example of a block of good ads. Note that grammar and spelling counts a lot. While the search engines may kick back or disapprove an ad with misspelled words, trademark terms, or inappropriate words, they won't always catch those grammar mistakes that can turn people off from your business. So you're probably noticing that lately, the ads that are displaying on the search engine results pages just aren't the basic text ads that we've covered so far, but that there are also some elaborate ads, especially around major brands, that take up a lot of space. What's all that crazy stuff around the ad we didn't talk about yet? Those are a myriad of display options, most of which are ad extensions. Ad extensions can be found in the Ad Extensions tab of your AdWords account. There are many types to choose from, and they're constantly evolving. We're going to review here with one caveat. I always recommend trying one at a time. New advertisers tend to get excited and try and roll out all of the available options at once. This can cloud what is working for you and what isn't. It can also get very confusing very quickly. If you want to experiment with an ad extension, and you should, they are powerful when used correctly, I recommend starting with site links. Site links show in groups of 2 or more, up to 10, and are additional links that can go to other URLs besides the main destination URL. They can go to other pages on your site, social profile associated with your account. They enable you to relay an additional 25 characters of text to searchers. You can save them and apply them to multiple campaigns, or just one, and are also set at the campaign and ad group levels. Location extensions are great if you're a brick-and-mortar business and would like to display an address with your ad. Searchers can click on it and be taken to a Google Maps page for directions. They also display a phone number so that if you're on a mobile device, it makes it extra easy to connect. Call extensions work in tandem with location, but have the option of being able to use Google's call tracking capabilities. If you utilize this extension, a unique phone number provided by Google will display in the ad and then forward to your actual phone number. From here, Google can tell if the user made contact with you, how long the call was, and how many calls overall you're receiving for your paid search efforts. App extensions are for those that are marketing an app download or sale and allow, very handily, for those on Android devices to download from Google Play instantly if signed in. And there's more. Social connections. Social connections connect with your Google Plus page. So if you do not have Google Plus, this won't be of much use to you. Product extension ads have actually been retired but still show on the user interface for some advertisers. This extension's functionality has been replaced with product listing ads, or PLAs, which are connected to AdWords through product feeds uploaded through Google Shopping's Merchant Center. Dynamic search ads are a more complicated option that I do not recommend for new advertisers. This extension populates a headline and first line of body copy for you based on a URL of a page that you provide. You're counting on Google's crawlers to be able to discern what is on the page and what is important. Review extensions are from third-party reviews that must be published online so that when you copy and paste the text of the review into the text box for this extension, Google can verify it and you must supply the source URL. So if you've got a good review and you have this capability, especially if you're a brick-and-mortar restaurant or eatery, this could be a good extension to try. And one thing to keep in mind is that review extensions are different than seller ratings. Seller ratings are the star system that you see on many ads and are annotations that are pulled by Google from multiple sources, like Google Shopping customer reviews, Stella Service, and Google Trusted Stores. You must also meet certain requirements like a composite 3.5 star rating or higher, and 3 or more unique reviews. You cannot control when and if this option displays. As you can see, there are a lot of different options for ad copy, but the most important thing to keep in mind is that finding out the combination that is right for you will require testing and trying them out first. If you try too many things at once, you will have a difficult time discerning what type of ad worked for you. So keep it simple at first and build from there. At the end of the day, the ads that should be considered the good ads are the ones that perform for you best. Writing ad copy is one of my favorite things about doing PPC. It gives you the chance to be creative and is one of the easiest things to test and measure in terms of success for your paid search efforts. However, when it comes to writing ad copy, before you get too creative, there are a few cardinal rules that you want to keep in mind. Make sure to use a keyword from the keyword list in the headline or the body copy whenever possible. If you can't get it into the body, the headline is the most important. Don't forget that if the query is on the keyword list and in the body copy, it displays in bold text on the search engine results page. Think in terms of benefits and features. What is the advantage of buying from you? Do you have multiple features or assets that you can talk about in the ad? Always have a call to action. Entice searchers into performing an action in response to your ad. Remember, you can't use click here or make claims like the best or number one without a third party that can substantiate that claim. If you do mistakenly violate an editorial guideline such as this, the ad will be disapproved and won't run. You'll need to edit and resubmit. You can shorten and use common abbreviations like etc. or an ampersand instead of an and or for a plus sign. You cannot, however, use numbers like for to replace the word for in order to save space. You cannot use special characters like snowflakes or clovers. Those will get kicked back after review. You can and should use dollar signs, percentages, asterisks, and tildes, common symbols found on the keyboard, to help differentiate and clarify the contents of your ad. Sometimes Google or Bing gets a little bit overzealous in the editorial review and will disapprove or throw up a warning. Just click the little Request an Exception link and type in the issue. For example, I had a client with the name Revolution in their name. For some reason, AdWords thought we were trying to incite political upheaval. Let's walk through a couple of examples of good and bad ad text. Here's a bad example. Take a second here and look at this ad and see if you can figure out why it's not a good ad. Let's pick it apart. First and foremost, there's no keyword in the headline or copy. There's no call to action. Trying to use numbers as words. And there's no punctuation at the end of the first line of body copy. All right, how about some examples of good ads? Take a second here and see if you can find out why these are good ads. All right, why were those good ads? Well, for one thing, keyword usage, both in the headline and in the body copy. There was a call to action included. Specifics around pricing and dates. And benefits and features were mentioned. Getting creative with your ads is a must. What a person responds to in the 3 seconds that they take to review your 105 character total must be eye-catching, compelling, and relevant. Here are some ideas you can try when crafting your own ad copy. Use initial caps for all words that aren't connectors. This one is a must. Time and time again, I have seen initial caps copy beat out ad copy that uses all lowercase. Use hyphens to separate important phrases and create open space around your call to action and keywords. Using pricing in ad copy is a great way to test how audiences respond to certain price points and a great way to pre-qualify people before they even click by discouraging or encouraging bargain shoppers, for example. Ask a question in the headline. People love to click on this one. People also love to search by asking entire questions in their query, such as, what should I have for dinner? And if you've got the answer to that question, use your ad copy to get their attention. Using a URL in the headline works especially good for ads that focus on brand terms or have a keyword in the URL. There's still a large population out there, including my mom, that thinks that an ad with a URL is the official or organic listing for that site. So take advantage of that. People love free shipping. They love it even more than a percentage of dollar amount or discount. I've tested this. They'd rather have the free shipping, probably because it doesn't include any math, than a discount, even if the discount is worth more than the free shipping. So if you have a free shipping offer, whether that's all orders or over a certain amount, flaunt it. Use trademark and copyright symbols. If you've got the ability to do this, it is a very powerful thing to put in ad copy. Try it on the same ad copy with and without, and you'll see the one with the symbols beat the other ad out every time. And don't forget common abbreviations. While you can do things like use the number 2 in place of one of the many variations of the 2 words, you most certainly can save yourself some character space with common abbreviations. This is my go-to list for whenever I am writing ad copy. This was just the tip of the iceberg for ways to write compelling ad copy. There are so many ways to write ad copy that attracts and converts searchers into customers, but you have to do the homework of testing to find out what works for your business personally. Stick to the cardinal best practices here, and you'll be on your way. As with any marketing effort, a certain amount of testing is necessary to determine what messaging, action words, benefits, or features are the best to represent your business to new customers. Ad copy is not only the first glimpse of that messaging to searchers, but also one of the easiest and most accessible ways to test out your marketing efforts. In AdWords, if you want to start an A/B or split test with 3 or more ads, you'll need to go into your Campaign Settings tab, and under the Ad Delivery section, select the radio button for Rotate Indefinitely or Rotate Evenly to have the ad text be shown in rotation for at least the next 90 days. I realize in this screenshot that Google is saying that it's not recommended for most advertisers and that you may not perform as well with this option. You're going to see warnings like this once in a while. Sometimes what is actually in your best interest as a new advertiser isn't what Google wants you to do. I choose Rotate Indefinitely most often. But I don't want you to just take my word for it. Let's break down those ad serving options a little. If you choose Rotate Indefinitely, AdWords will continue to show your ads evenly, no matter how many there are in the ad groups or how many ad groups are in that campaign, until you select a different option. If you edit an ad, it won't pick up additional impressions in order to catch up with the remaining ads. It will just continue to show in rotation. It's at this point, when you evaluate which ad is doing well, to review the percentage served column. One of the other options that are available is the default option of Optimize for Clicks. This will show the ad predicted to get the most clicks, not conversions. This is a very important distinction. If your goal is to drive traffic, then this setting will work great for you. If your goal is to test messaging, offers, or garner sales, less so. The other option, Optimize for Conversions, can be a great setting, but you need to have AdWords conversion tracking set up and have it running for at least 30 days minimum. Otherwise, AdWords does not have enough data in which to make the best predictions for which ad will perform. Ideally, if you're just starting out, you will run 2 ads. Set on Rotate to get the percentages seen here in this percentage served column of 50% and 49%. That is a true A/B test. If you're feeling ambitious or have a healthy amount of budget, you can do more than 2 ads, but I would not recommend trying more than 4 ads at a time in any given ad test. So what about Bing Ads? Bing Ads works very similarly to AdWords. There are 2 options. Optimize for Clicks, which shows the ad predicted to garner the most clicks, and Rotate Evenly, which will continue rotating your ads until you choose otherwise. This rotate method is the one that you want to pick if you are doing an A/B test. This is chosen at the ad group level under Advanced Settings. There are multiple ways to test ad copy itself, including dynamic keyword insertion, benefits and feature statements, calls to action, to name a few. Later in this course, we'll cover how to judge performance of ads and how to best choose which ads to continue with in connection with ad serving options like these. Dynamic keyword insertion, or DKI as it's commonly called, is a popular ad copy option for both Google and Bing. What it does is if the searcher's query is short enough and can fit within the character limits of the headline or body copy, depending on where you're using it, it will insert the searcher's query and bold the text. Since 60% of all queries that Google is seeing on a daily basis are new queries that haven't been seen before, and because searchers like to see results that very closely reflect what they typed into the search box, it's a powerful method to try. Here's what a dynamic ad would look like in the AdWords interface, not viewable in this state to searchers. You'll notice that there is some text after the keyword in brackets. That is called the placeholder text, and it displays if the query is too long for the character space available. Some things to keep in mind when creating DKI headlines or body copy. Make sure that the placeholder text you choose is a keyword from your list or is relevant. Do not put something in like placeholder or keyword, because if the query is too long to fit in the ad, Google may show the ad with the placeholder text instead. This is particularly true if all of your ads are using DKI and there are no other alternatives. Keep any words around the DKI parameter short to increase the likelihood of displaying. Keep an ad on your search query reports in the Keywords tab to help you determine what placeholder text to put in or find new keywords to add. And pay attention to capitalization, as you'll see in the preceding slides. When you're setting up an ad that uses DKI, pay attention to how you capitalize the keyword lead-in within the brackets. If you leave the word keyword all in lowercase, then the ad will display the searcher's query in all lowercase, no matter how you capitalize the placeholder or preceding words. If you capitalize just the first letter of keyword, the K, then the first letter of the searcher's query will show as a capitalization. If you capitalize the K and the W in keyword, then the ad will capitalize each of the words in the searcher's query. The best practice is to not only capitalize the K and the W of the keyword in the brackets, but also in your placeholder phrase as well, so that in the case of the placeholder needing to show over the user's query, the capitalization would carry through. Here's what an ad would look like using DKI in the body copy of the ad. And here's what it would look like being utilized in a display URL. Just don't forget to keep character length in mind when working within body copy or display URL, as you may run out of room sooner than you think. This method of capitalization applies to both Bing and AdWords. This is the most popular and most successful way of driving up click-through rate, but it can also be used in the body copy of the ad and the destination URL as seen here. On average, an ad using DKI will outperform an ad that doesn't use DKI in terms of CTR or click-through rate. However, this is not necessarily true for conversions. Make sure that you are looking at conversion rate when determining the success or not of a DKI ad. If you're having trouble with getting a CTR over a certain percentage, say 2%, or have low quality scores, DKI is a good method to try and increase those statistics. I recommend trying dynamic keyword insertion after you run a couple of standard text ads for a few weeks. I also recommend doing it in rotation with the ads you've already got running, or focusing on a set of ads to be successful with instead of just one. You can find this option in your ad delivery settings at the campaign level for Google and ad group for Bing. Dynamic insertion is a powerful trick to have in your book of ad copy tests, so be sure not to forget to utilize it in your paid search efforts going forward.